Hey, what's going on out there? It's Sean Devine, and today I've got a new tutorial for y'all. It's Friday. Wanted to do something a little different. Got a little lunch break here, so I'm going to do a session with y'all. And this is one of my clients, Jonathan Long. He has an EP that's being released in about a month, but this is the title track. And if you're interested in the song, you can go to runwithzeal.com. They're based out of Tampa, Florida. Really talented folks. And I believe you get this song for free if you pre-order it. And it's like $5. Yeah, so check that out. But this song was produced by Cicely, another client of mine, and she did a really good job with the production. But in this tutorial, I want to show you how we can take an 808 and replace it using Logic's drum replacement tool or any drum replacement in any of your DAWs, but then make it knock really hard, really clean, be in key, just a lot of elements with an 808 that you might miss sometimes, and it makes all the difference, especially when you're working with melodic material, which in this case we've got a melodic singing hook, and some of the instrumentation just really needed to follow the 808, and I wanted to make the 808 a central element of the song. So I'm going to play back just what I was sent as I was sent with the original 808, and then I'm going to show you how we can use the drum replacement tool to replace the 808, and then a couple of really cool tricks and effects that I used on the new 808. So this is the original.
Oh my God, I'm thinking that I just need to breathe. Yeah, breathe in this crowded room. Breathe. Yeah, breathe in this crowded room.
All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space. All y'all. I am your senses. I don't need your 2 cents. I'll get your rent paid.
All right, so that gives you a good idea of what we're dealing with in the session. Again, that 808 just plays such a central role, and so I wanted to make sure that it was really, really clean and impactful. So I replaced it. Now, if you want to know how to do a drum replacement in Logic, all you need to do is select your track, wherever your kick or snare or whatever you want to replace is. Replace or double drum track. So it also has a shortcut to it, but I usually just go up there to the menu, and what it'll do is it's going to analyze the track, and it's going to bring up this menu here, and we have a relative threshold. And if we look here, let me zoom in just so we can see exactly what's happening here. It will show us exactly where it is picking up the transients and putting a drum note, right? So this is actually a MIDI channel that it's creating, and it's just putting it like it was a kick or a drum of some sort, and it's putting it in time. So a really handy feature if you want to replace drums, but you need to be careful about the threshold. Make sure that you're picking up all of the different drum hits and it's not missing them. But that's all I did, and I just hit OK. And then once I had replaced it, I loaded a instance of battery, and then I put my own 808 sample in there, and it's something like this. Hang on. Now there's a lot of processing on it right now, but it hits really hard. I'm going to show you what I did to it, but let me just play it back in the context of the song so you can hear the difference.
All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space. All y'all. I am your senses. I don't need your 2 cents. I'll get your.
So that's the new one, the original.
I am your senses. I don't need your 2 cents. I'll get. I am your senses. I don't need your.
So you'll notice what I did was I repitched the 808, and the reason is, like I was talking about before, sometimes it's cool to have a dissonant 808 sound, but this one, it was a little off key, And I just felt like it would hit harder and it would play better with the music with a tuned 808. So I just used a pitch, I just used the pitch in battery and just adjusted it to where it was in key with the song. So now it just hits much harder. And that's a really easy trick to make sure that your 808 is going to hit, is to make sure it is in key and tuned. So once I did that, then we have a little bit of waves. The Puig Tech, this thing is really good on low end, especially like sub frequencies. So I just have it dialed into 60 at 4 here. Let me just turn it off so you can hear without that. And a matter of fact, let me turn off all this other stuff as well for now.
All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space.
So that's just the clean 808 sample. And with the Puig Tech, just adds a little bit of those sub harmonics that we want. So then what I've done is I parallel processed the 808. So I sent this out to a bus 10. So once it goes into this bus, I have it going through the Fab filter, and I just have a preset that I just created on my own, where I have a warm tape type of distortion set up, and then I just EQ'd the bands for the distortion.
All y'all crowding my space. All y'all crowding my space.
So without the distortion.
All y'all crowding my space.
So that's another really useful trick. I've talked about it in some of my other videos. You want to be using some distortion on your 808 so that if you're listening on, a computer speaker or a phone or just some kind of small speaker that doesn't play bass like that, that's what will make it audible on any of those types of systems. So then, really handy trick, I just did a review on the Matthew Lane Stereo Delta, which is a smaller version of this plugin, but this is Dr. MS spatial processor, amazing plugin. And what I'm using this for with the 808 is to widen it. This is how I got that really wide, impactful kind of sound for the 808. Really makes it stand out. So let me play that without it. Now let's go over here.
Makes sense. And he's asking me to take risks. So instead of a warm bed, I'd rather be caught.
So with the Dr. MS.
Makes sense. And he's asking me to take risks. So instead of a warm bed, I'd rather be caught dead in my head. He said, come to your sense. If a piggy bank was made, but the piggyback off the game just to bring it.
So it just widens that distorted signal. Really cool. Let me solo that so you can hear it. And without. With. Big difference. Makes it really, really cool. And just a wide presence. So that's pretty much it, y'all. The only other thing that I did to kind of make this 808 stand out a bit more is in the hook, you've got a singing kind of vocal following this melody. And in the reference that was sent to me, the 808 just kind of continued to hit in that same tone.
Voices in my head, yeah, in this crowded room, trying to catch my breath and anxiety's getting.
So I just felt like right there to, again, make the 808 an essential part of the track, and to be part of the hook, I wanted it to follow that melody. So once I've tuned it, it was just a matter of programming in notes that are going to follow the melody.
That you push, let me know
Tell me what to do. Voices in my head, yeah, in this crowded room, trying to catch my breath and.
So the original.
That you push, let me know
Tell me what to do. Voices in my head, yeah, in this crowded room.
And the change.
That you push, let me know
Tell me what to do. Voices in my head, yeah, in this crowded room, trying to catch my breath then.
So it seems like a basic concept, but it really makes a big difference in action, especially when you're working with the more melodic material. Your 808 can definitely accentuate those melodies and just make the hooks stand out a little bit more. So there's just a couple of quick tricks for y'all on how to make your 808 really knock, be clean, be in key, and also add width to it using our friend the Dr. MS plugin, which again, if you haven't checked this out, be sure to go to matthewlane.com. I just did a review on Stereo Delta, which is a similar kind of tool, but it's really affordable and it's only got one knob. So this is something that a lot of people I don't think are aware of that makes a big difference on your 808s. So check that out, and also be sure to check out my clients, Jonathan Long and Cicely at Run With Zeal. You can pre-order this EP from Jonathan Long and get this song for free. Really cool stuff there. So be sure to check it out. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We'll talk to you soon.
All these moves in my wrist, I still can't shake him. I'm writing when I'm LED, and I need release. I got an LED, and I still can't see. That's how I take it to the head, just like an antidepressant. So my wrist is medicinal. But once I clear my head, I'm hearing, oh, you think that you know me well. The more you feed me, the more I swell. You thicken the walls in this holding cell. I guess I thicken the bricks and I stay up in my shell. I was hanging pictures on the wall, making up my sheets and folding drawers. Yeah, take a visit through these doors, walking through these halls. All the while I'm amused with the views that you push. You let me loose,
Tell
what's
me
the
what
use?
to do. Voices in my head, yeah, in this crowded room, trying to catch my breath then. Anxiety's getting me high, bodies are close to my side, wanting to run and hide. Oh my God, I'm thinking that I just